many things has been happening since Nigerian Republic military leader accused Nigeria of colluding with France to destabilize them, though Nigeria has denied that, saying that they have no hands in things like that. But the North has been talking. Even far before then, they have been complaining of so many things that is happening in the regime of President Tinubu. Some of them are saying that their people are not being included that much in the leadership of President Tinubu, coupled with the tax reform bill that they don't want to hear anything about, plus insecurity, high cost of living, and so many other things. And because of these things, we are even hearing that there is a plot by the North not to support Tinubu in 2027 presidential election, allegedly. But I hope all these things are coming out because of public interest, or is it just because of personal interest as usual with our politicians in this country? But anyway, sir, there is this concrete analysis of what is going on by Mayogu, which I want you to listen very attentively to. And as you are listening, do well to click on that share button, subscribe if you have not done so for more updates. And after that, I'll be back. Let's go there.
They called those who were against the Muslim tickets kafiris, the unbelievers. They threatened them that there will be war if for any reason Tinubu's Muslim ticket failed. So a year after the Muslim ticket, the Mumu ticket, and Tinubu started what he called his reform, they have now been those even crying more. Subsidy remover hits them like thunderbolts, Magun. Then electricity tariff as well, it's there like Chopana. To make the matter worse, they are now hearing that once they approve the tax reform bill, that they want to finish in here. So to them in northern Nigeria, it is one regret after the other. And this year, when these Sahel countries started chasing away the French, the French neocolonialism in their region, you see, and Nigeria welcomed France with open arms. So they began to feel like Tinubu is the weapon fashioned against them. So they have been treating Tinubu and his appointees, they have been treating them with so much suspicion and hatred, and it keeps growing every day. It's kind of like a mixture of number one, under Buhari, as Buhari was destroying Nigeria, they were making their people believe that they should never speak up, they should never condemn Buhari because he was a Muslim and he's a northerner. So now that they are out of power, it seems, as the southerners are suspecting, it seems that they cannot live outside power, even though it has never really benefited the ordinary people of northern Nigeria. But it is more than that. You see, most of those things that Buhari diverted to northern Nigeria for 8 years, as much as it didn't really reach, the real people in that place, right? It started making a big difference that those things are no longer available for them. So they have every reason to suspect that Tinubu is a weapon fashioned against them.
That's when the Buhari later goes to meet in US and he was not arrested, and they arrested Nandikan because there's a mission. People have to understand that, and we are still in one Nigeria. Unity of Nigeria is what we need. So you are not ready for unity of Nigeria. That is what I see, and I understand you. And that thing cannot work. You can go ahead, do anything you want. 2027 will flush you out with your message to.
This is the consequence of the vote you voted. And it's too early to cry now because actually the real problem hasn't come.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be rude to anybody, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, and I don't want to insult anybody. What I'm saying is that is the real truth. The real truth, the real problem of Nigeria, are Northerners. Northerners, Fulani. Hausa are the problem of Nigeria. They don't want our Nigerian progress. If they are not the one in power, then nobody can do it. It's only them that can do it. If you say you deprive Igbo people from having what is supposed to be theirs, allow them to go for their Biafra. If you say Yoruba people are not competent, they cannot rule Nigeria, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, should just stay and rule ourselves. If we kill ourselves, that's our business. You cannot say no, because Igbos, you think Igbos are thieves, Igbos are wicked, Igbos are this, they are that, they are this. There is no way that there's not the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you cannot help the Igbos, allow them to go. If you cannot carry the Yorubas, if you don't want them to rule you, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, will rule ourselves. If it's going to be better. We are one Nigeria, so we want the best for Nigeria. So we should look at where we are going wrong so that we can perfect it.
Then, on the other hand, Niger Republic is like Nigeria's 37th state. Yes. Throughout the 8 years of Bukwari, Niger Republic was receiving money. I mean, there are some northern states like Sokoto State, Kebbi State, Borno State. All these guys always add the budget of Niger Republic to their budget. Not like budget. I mean, like, you will see a Sokoto State will be buying a vehicle, security vehicles for the Nigerian police. You will see Borno State building and constructing and equipping medical centers in Niger Republic as part of their budget. Kebbi State will be funding, the government of Niger Republic. All of these are public. Then Bukwari was in fact believed to be funding the Niger Republic as his retirement home until they chased away his pal, Bazoum. So since Bazoum was removed, somehow the Hausas, the Fulanis as well, from northern part of Nigeria, they seem to have a bit of a sympathy for their cousins in Niger. And you see, Bazoum was removed under Tinubu. To the point that when Tinubu decided to invade Niger Republic last year, it triggered a huge sentiment from their part. Their Satan of Jokoto, Emir, and all of these guys, their politicians, they were frequenting Niger Republic, trying to mediate, and they were mounting pressure on Tinubu never to do it. But there was this sentiment that what Niger Republic rejected, Tinubu has embraced. So if Niger, their cousins in Niger, states that France is their enemy, there's no point for Nigerian government to embrace France. This has been a means of suspicion between Nigeria, or between northern Nigeria and Tinubu. Meanwhile, Tinubu, on the other hand, has a confidant called Shaguri. He has been enjoying immunity from arrest, prosecution with the French government. He can't really go many places in the world. He will be arrested. He's a wanted man. But he's a Tinubu's pal. He's Tinubu's confidant. So when Niger Republic chased France away, it wasn't a bigger problem for Tinubu to become the next option. Something that some of the core Sharia North considered as a betrayal. But they couldn't say much. They were holding it in. So that Tinubu even attempted to invade Niger Republic, that one has already breeded a bit of resentment against him. Then coupled with the failed policies of Tinubu, which to them, if Tinubu was a Fulani northerner, they wouldn't mind. But he's a southerner, a munafiki. That's what they call him, a munafiki. So, the story of what the French have done to them in Niger Republic, in Mali, in Burkina Faso, is more pronounced in the Sharia North than the rest of Nigeria, in case if you don't know. In fact, as much as a lot of you have access to internet, in northern part of Nigeria, the massive means of communication or information sharing is through the radio. And that is why majority of their political leaders would rather address them in Hausa. So when Tiani overthrew Bazoum in Niger, Nigeria placed economic sanction on Niger Republic to destroy the country. But unfortunately for Tinubu and his gang, that did not really have so much impact on the government, but it did have impact on the country. Economically, Niger became economically isolated. But anyway, they formed another bloc, which is the bloc with Mali and Burkina Faso. But there's still something left. So it is also believed that the French French sentiments, the resentment of the French in Niger, in the Sahel, like all these countries, right, is one good advantage that the juntas in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Niger, it is what they always use as the reasons why, number one, they're having problem with insecurity, they're having problem with economic this and that, and the big brother, Nigeria, that should have acted as big brother to support them, protect them, has now sided with France. So therefore, Nigeria, not Nigeria as a whole, they believe that Tinubu as in particular, especially Tinubu, is the enemy of the North through that. And this has been going on for a while. Those who are working with Tinubu, like Ribadombo, like this Idris guy, who is your misinformation minister, Badaru of Jigawa, your defense minister, Patawale of Nasarawa, also your minister, Minister of State for Defense or so, right? And majority of those appointed by Tinubu, they are using what is called eye service in working with Tinubu. But it seems a memo now came after that interview, because it was believed that Tiani, the Niger Republic head of junta, had to speak directly to the Hausa community, the biggest community in northern part of the Sharia North, to be precise. He intentionally granted that interview by saying, listen, you are dealing with Lakurawa, you are dealing with all these terrorists. They are the handiwork of France. So it is France that is giving weapons to these terrorists. It is France that is funding them. The intention is to use these terrorists to destabilize Niger, is to use these terrorists to destabilize the economic of these Sahel countries. And it's unfortunate that despite the fact that they have done so much, he has done so much to report to Nigeria and seek Nigeria cooperation, that Nigeria has ignored all of his plea. Now that is an indictment, something that spread like wildfire in northern Nigeria. So since that yesterday, now Tinubu is in Lagos. He is not in Abuja now. But immediately that interview dropped, the entire Aso Rock entered panic mode. Like, oh my God, what's this? Because again, don't forget that Tinubu's policies are already destroying Nigeria. And northern Nigeria, who supported the Muslim ticket, they are the most affected as we speak. They are the most, they are the people that have suffered the most in the last 18 months. They are facing the kind of shaggy that they have never seen before, despite the fact that they they survived Boko Haram 8 years. So they can't hold it in. So Tinubu is already like a personal non grata to them. But you see those who are appointed by Tinubu from northern Nigeria, they are giving him another impression to make him feel like, oh, he's loved. Don't listen to what the oppositions are saying. The people appreciate you. The people are praying for you. We are giving them the food you said we should give them. We are even sharing money to them. Blah, 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 blah. So this interview has not only riled the poor, it has also made those who are their elites so concerned. Like, is Tinubu trying to mortgage their future, their lives for France? Even though they continue to deny that there is no French forces in Nigeria. Now, what makes everyone concerned now is that when the level at which these guys came to deny kind of really makes us believe that it is 100% true. There are evidence abound. So, sorry to those of you who don't understand Hausa, okay? I will play these audios, okay? The first of them is that of Ribadom, who decided to, it is now like a game of propaganda versus propaganda now. I need to make you understand, okay? Because right now, they knew that, they kind of believe that this Nigerian leader intentionally granted the interview in Hausa. And the interview has caused so much anger in northern Nigeria right now. You know what I mean? Like, people are already angry that their gamble of the Muslim ticket don't cut. The ticket don't cut. So right now, they have more reason to hate Tinubu more. And this Ribadom and others now believe that this is an actual job that will wreck Tinubu's chances, create a bit of an unrest in northern part of Nigeria if something is not done right away. So it is a propaganda war. And according to some of them, they believe that Niger is leading right now. So they are not concerned about me and you talking about France. If me and you, if we are concerned from the southern part of Nigeria about France, they don't give a damn about us. That is why they are currently addressing their people in Hausa, telling them that, number one, Ribadu said that Nigeria has never granted any foreign country, a military base in Nigeria history. That when America came, Nigeria rejected them. When Britain came, Britain actually colonized Nigeria. Nigeria rejected the offer of setting up a base. When France came, they rejected. But guess what? This Niger Republic, they accepted France. They accepted America. So now that they are having issue with America and France, and then Nigeria is kind of like in business with France. So this is why Niger is trying to blame Nigeria. He's trying to, they are now saying that because this military junta, he has no plan of when he's going to transition to democracy. He has failed the people. All the promises he made when they overthrew the government in Niger, he said he has failed his people. And because he has nothing to show to them, he wanted to use Nigeria and Tinubu's relationship with Macron. He wanted to use that to ginger his country people, that the reason why he's been failing is because Tinubu is a friend to France, and France want to destroy Niger. So this is them now trying to push back in denial, despite the fact that true, France are having their foothold in Nigeria as we speak, all over the north. And I will show you some of that. But here is Ribadom.
Abun ya zo mana muma da tada hankali da mamaki da mai girma shugaban Niger ya faɗa. Ba ta da tushe, ba gaskiya. Najeriya ba za ta taɓa yi wa Niger zagon ƙasa ba. Najeriya ba za ta taɓa yadda wani abu masifa ya faru wa Niger ba. Najeriya ba ta da fitina ko rashin zaman lafiya da makwabta kanmu. Dukkanmu muna zaman lahiya da Cameroon, muna zaman lahiya da Chad, muna zaman lahiya da Benin. Ya za a ce kuma za mu samu problem da Niger ta ina? Ita jamhuriyar Niger tana zargin cewa Najeriya yanzu haka tana kokari kuma ta baiwa kasar Faransa sansani domin sojojinta su samu hanyar da za su iya yakar jamhuriyar Niger. Wannan ta ina a ce Najeriya ce za ta ba wata ƙasa dama ta zo ta zanna don ta kawo wa Niger hari ko fitina? Ina zai faru ta ina? Najeriya ba ta da wannan tarihi na yarda da kasashen waje su zo su zanna a kasanta. Ingila da kanta suka yi mana colonialism ba su taba ko so daya su ce wai za su kawo sojojinsu ya zanna a Najeriya. America ba yadda ba ta yi ba mu yadda ba. Sai da muka ce ba mu yadda ba su kafin su ce sun je wajen Niger. Niger suka ba su dama, daga bayan Niger din suka zo suka kore su. Faransa ba ma Niger ba, duk kasashen da suka yi wa mulki haka suka dinga yi. Ba mu taba yarda da haka ba. A ce za ta zo ta bude sansani a Najeriya ta zanna ko rana guda, belle ma a ce wai za ta kawo Niger ko wata ƙasa farmaki. Ina zai faru ma? Ba mu taba yi ba. Amma idan yanzu sojojin Niger suna fada da Faransa, ba dole su ma su ce mu yi fada da Faransa ba. Duk kamar yadda ba mu fada da kowane ƙasa a duniya. Najeriya ba da taɓa yi ba, musamman a ce wai har ma za a ce wai a kawo wata yan uwanmu fitina. Shi shugaban Niger har ma ya kira wurare a cikin Najeriya don ya san Najeriya kwarai. Wannan wuraren da ya kira dinnan muna neman ku yan jaridu da kuma mutanen da suke community a wurin din, don Allah ku je ku duba ko akwai wasu baki, kowane irin bako ma, belle ma a ce Faransa. Muna tabbata mutanen Niger, Najeriya ba za ta taba zama musu matsala ba.
Masana suna ganin cewa wannan abin da ya taso dinnan babbar barazana ce ga harkokin tsaro da suka shafi ta'addanci da kuma garkuwa da mutane a Najeriya da kuma jamhuriyar Niger. Ba ganin wannan abu ne da za ya kamata a duba shi.
Ai shi ne muke nema tun da muka shiga nan, muna yaƙi da 'yan ta'adda, bandits, kidnappers, IPOB, 'yan Niger Delta, ko ta ina muna ciki, kuma Allah Ubangiji yana bamu nasara. Muna neman 'yan uwa, kusan muna cikin matsala guda ne, abinda ya taba Najeriya ya taba su. Ya kamata Niger su fahimta akan cewa Najeriya ba problem bane. 'Yan ta'addan nan su ne mutanen da suka matsa mana. Dukkan abin da suke yi a Niger suna yi a Najeriya. Mu haɗa kai mu yaƙi da su. Mutanen Niger su sani akan cewa mutane ɗaya muke, duk abin da ya taba ɗaya ya taba guda. Ba yadda za a yi a ce wai ƙasar Najeriya ita ce za ta taimakawa 'yan ta'adda har ya zo ya kawo mu da kanmu abubuwan da yake matsa mana akan yaushe muka kare da mu ce wai za mu kawo. Ta ina zina zai faru? Wannan bai yi ba. Wannan don Allah shugabannin su sake dubawa. Kuma Niger har yanzu ya kamata su sani akan cewa idan sun canja Faransa sun kawo wasu, suna kawo wani problem ne na gaba. Bai kamata ba a bar wasu kasashe kuma su fara su mayawa gurbi na mutanen Faransa. Duk wanda ya zo zai zo maka yanzu a aboki ne, gobe zai zama maka masifa. Ka san akan cewa wannan kamar yadda muka faɗa musu da kafin su yarda America ta zo su bude sansani a wurin, mun ce mun har ku yi, sun bayar, amma yanzu sun gani. Yanzu ma muna ba da shawara ko rabu da su. Najeriya su ne yan uwanku, ku dawo mu yi aiki tare.
Na san akwai yarjejeniyoyi da aka yi tsakanin makotan kasashe kan yaƙi da ta'addanci, kuma Niger ma tana ciki. Ina waɗannan yarjejeniyoyi suna nan ko kuma dai ya suke?
Muna yi yanzu ma kamar Niger, abinda muke a tafkin Chad, wanda joint venture da muke su Niger sun ce sun jawo sun fita. Muka ce su dawo don mu yaƙi da Boko Haram da sauran wannan mutane. Idan ba mu haɗa kai ba, wannan abubuwan din zai ƙara kawo mana problem. Ba mu da niyya akan cewa mu yi nisanci 'yan uwanmu. Dole ne mu yi aiki tare. Idan akwai kasuwanci ba laifi, amma wani ya zo ya amfani da mu don mu murguna 'yan uwanmu bare yi ba. Abinda kake gani yanzu ko muna mu'amala da Faransa, ba da maganan kasuwanci da kuma zamantakewa, zaman lafiya da kowa a duniya, ba abinda Najeriya ta sa a gaba fiye da wannan abu.
You don't have to understand everything. Just the key thing is saying. It is called panic mode. Okay? It's like, we need to counter it. We need to quickly tell people that, you know what, he's lying. Okay? We do not, there's no French forces in Nigeria. We don't have anything here. All of that stuff, yeah? Unfortunately for Ribadol, the announcements made by Tinubu himself, for example, you have French forces now training with the Nigerian army. They are training with the Nigerian Navy. And they are also training with Nigerian Air Force. When Tinubu went to France, right, they sold these 1960, 1965 fighter jets, about 40 or 42 of them, like a local old fighter jets. They sold them to Tinubu, and therefore that is what do you call it? A stage set for the French forces to come to Nigeria and teach Nigerian pilots how to fly the fighter jet. They also signed a deal called Critical Mineral Resources MOU on critical mineral resources, which has now led to Nigeria lifting ban on the mining, lifting ban on mining in Zamfara and some other places. French companies that were operating in Niger Republic, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, who have been kicked out of the place, they are going to be in Nigeria. Some of them are already setting up shop in Nigeria. And that didn't come for free. When that Nigerian president said they gave Tinubu substantial amount of money to accept this, he is right. You know what? The next 2 years, France will give Tinubu 300 million euros.
You get the point now. But just like I said before, are you sure that all these things are happening because of public interest? Are they doing it because they want everybody to be included? Or is it just because of their personal interest, as usual with our politicians in this country? When they are not being included in one particular government, they will be complaining as if they have the interest of the people at heart. But anyway, share your thought with me on the comment section. And of course, know the vibe now. Click on that subscribe button, follow and share for more updates. Because like this, we more.